for one here. So here is the home page. Going up to my classroom again, and then my students and groups. Okay. So if first you can do either one first, it doesn't matter. You can upload your students or upload your group. So I'm just gonna do test 1, confirm. Okay. Test 2. Confirm. Okay. So those would be my students. Okay. And then I would do a new group profile and I would go like Natasha Howard. Okay. And depending on if you might have multiple classes. Okay. If you're doing like an elementary group and a middle school group, maybe you want to say Natasha Howard Elementary. I'm going to go back a second. So I want to add in test 1, test 2, but I'm actually going to go in and edit these kiddos because we talked about coding our kids. And so we talked about doing their first name. So let's say their name is Jane Doe, JD. And then I am going to see these kids in Page. Okay. So that's how we code them. Let's say, and so this is, I don't know, Dan Larson.
Jaden Mascarenas
And
to the junior high office, please.
I'm-
Jaden Mascarenas to the junior high office.
I'm gonna see him in Valley City. Okay, and maybe I want to say VCHS means he's at the high school versus Washington Elementary versus Jefferson Elementary. Okay, so that would be how we would want to code our kids so that, you know, there's inevitably going to be 3 JDs or, you know, a couple DLs. So then putting the school in as the last name, so then we can keep those straight. And then here's my group, Natasha Howard Elementary, and there are my kids in that group. Okay. As you can see right now, they have not done anything, but this is the test group we're going to use as today. So does anybody currently have a student with a social emotional learning goal that is willing to share it? And we'll use you as the guinea pig for this video.
I have an older student that perseverates on favorite topics.
Okay, what age?
He is 5th grade.
5th grade. Okay, so we would go full curriculum, maybe basic conversation skills is where my brain's taking me. Looking to see if that might match this child as my internet hopefully goes through here. So starting a conversation, so knowing when to talk, maintaining a conversation, knowing how much to talk. So here's kind of some ideas of maybe where we want to start. Then we could say, okay, I think maybe knowing how much to talk might be a kid that perseverates on certain things, might be where we want to start. Okay. So then you decide, where is he socially? Is he, because being he's in 5th grade, you know, 5th grade could be middle school, could be elementary. And so here it has, this only has a middle school and high school version. I might stay with the elementary. So learning to share conversations. And so then it shows you lesson 1, lesson 2. So if you click on this, lesson 1, what I like to do is review this preview sheet, because basically this gives you where all your conversations are going to lead. So if you are still like, I still don't know if this is exactly what my kid needs, you can preview it. And then here's what it would look like. So what is the setting? Who are the characters? What is the conversation share? So this is something you would learn, okay? And then what are 2 ways Simon and Brandon use the conversation share? So I think it keeps going. If I look here quickly. Yep, there's 2 pages. So then how can conversations be like playing catch, like turn taking, right? How might others feel if you do more of the talking? So this is looking like it might fit your kid. And then how can conversation share help you in your conversation? So this conversation share is probably a strategy that they're going to teach in this lesson. So it looks like it might fit him. So let's start it up. We are going to save this to my Dan Larson. Oops, not a list. So we can create a new list. So I would say like Natasha Elementary, because that's my group that I'm using it with. Okay, so then this is saved to my list. You could also send it as homework. Remember, we could copy this link and post it to the kid's Canvas page, send it to him in an email, put it on a Seesaw account, however you would want to do that. The third thing over on the side, so we already looked at the companion sheet that goes with the lesson. You also, here is a poster that also comes with it of how to share a conversation, okay? And it explains what conversation share is. It refers to the amount of time one spends talking during a conversation. So keeping track of how much you're talking. Talk too little makes others think you don't want to talk to them. Talk too much and makes others feel frustrated and annoyed. Okay, so this would be just a visual you could post or bring out when you're doing your lessons. So then here is the actual lesson. So I put it to full screen. Now, here's this highlighting tool. So when you pause it, which we'll see, you can actually draw on the screen.
We share lots of things. We share games, we share friends, we even share conversations. Using the conversation share means sharing the time each person gets to talk. Conversations go back and forth. We talk a little, then the other person talks a little. We talk again, then the other person talks again. We can think of it like a game of catch. Using the conversation share also means keeping our turns the same length. We talk for the same amount of time as the other person. People will get upset if we do all the talking. When we share the conversation, people feel happy. Being good at the conversation share means we all get the same time to talk. We take turns talking and listening. We keep our comments the same length, so we're not doing too much of the talking. That way, everyone is happy. Let's see what sharing the conversation looks like.
At my soccer game on Saturday, it rained the whole time.
Mine too. I was the goalie and I was sliding all over the place.
I was on defense. My whole area was this one huge mud pit. I just kept skating and falling. I fell 3 times.
On the way home, I had to sit on a grocery bag and my mom said, "Don't touch anything."
I got my mom's car all dirty from my cleats.
I had to take my cleats off before I got in the car.
I can't wait for next weekend.
It was nice talking to Brandon. I liked the way that he listened to me, and we took turns talking.
I can share the conversation when I talk to people. I say a little bit at a time. Then the other person takes a turn and says a little bit. I don't do all the talking and I don't stay too quiet. I say just enough to keep it the same. It keeps everyone happy if they know they'll have a turn.
Brandon did a great job sharing the conversation. Sharing the conversation lets everyone have an even turn at talking. One person doesn't do all the talking. We take turns talking and listening. When we share the conversation, no one gets upset.
Okay, so that's the videos like that pretty much. That's a very common, like you'll see it, it'll stop, it'll pause, it'll show you perspectives, it'll have like the little thought bubbles that come out. So then you would mark this as seen in your lesson so that you know you've done it. And so I will hit my elementary page, that meaning that those two, or you can just do like if we're just doing this for DL. Okay, so woohoo, he did it. Then we scroll down and we do our next interactive activity, which you can do this on the screen or you can download it and print it out, just depending on, so I'm gonna do it on the screen, obviously. So here's a little game. So read the conversation below, write what you would respond. So a friend asks you to go ride bikes and say, sure. He asked, where should we go? So then the kid would do that. Maybe let's go to the park. You are all on the bus talking about Halloween. You want to know what costumes others are wearing. So what would you do? Ask a question. All your friends are sleeping over at your house. She told you she's excited. You said, me too. She asked what she can bring. You can bring a sleeping bag. Your teacher said your class earned extra recess. A classmate said, wow, what a cool teacher. I know, right? So finish and review. Okay. How would someone feel if you did all the talking in the conversation? How would someone feel if you did too little? Okay, and then talk about that. So then you complete this. Okay, and then you can download this PDF to, for your own data, that kind of thing, to compare depending on what they're doing. Okay, so then, okay, completed that, boom. We go back, okay, taking conversational turns. Again, there's a preview sheet that you could download and have the kid filling out while you're doing the video.
I can't wait for this weekend. I'm going to the movies with my family. That sounds fun. I think I have a soccer game. What position do you play? I'm the goalie. It's really fun. That's awesome. Well, good luck at your game. Thanks. When I talk to someone, I take turns. I had my turn, then Matt said something. Then I respond, and Matt responds again. I can't wait for this weekend. I'm going to the movies with my family. That sounds fun. I think I have a soccer game. What position do you play? I'm the goalie. It's really fun. That's awesome. Well, good luck at your game. Thanks.
When we are having a conversation, we take turns.
I can't wait for this weekend. I'm going to the movies with my family.
After one friend talks, we get a turn.
That sounds fun. I think I have a soccer game.
We don't take all the turns. We go back and forth.
What position do you play? I'm the goalie. It's really fun. That's awesome. Well, good luck at your game. Thanks.
Okay, so then we keep marking our scene to make sure that we're not missing anything and redoing things that we have done. And then if my computer lets me, we will exit out of this and then go to the review, okay? So then reviewing skills. Staying on topic, 50-50, who's talking? Am I talking too much? It's kind of just a review of what you've learned. Okay, and then here's a who's talking activity packet. So it's basically, you'll have a small object to pass between partners, a notepad to write conversational topics, and then these printed pie charts, okay? And basically the older player goes first. They begin the conversation with a greeting, and then one comment or question on the chosen topic, and then they have to fill in, they pass the object back, and then they have to fill in their pie to see how much of the conversation they took. I like this because some kids don't even realize like that they're talking that much about it. And so it makes it visual for them. Like, I only have one piece of the pie. You have all the rest. And so it makes it visual. And so then you'd have all of the, you would name and then the topic that they're talking about. And so for your kid in particular, Michelle, this might be good because if there's something that he does perseverate on, you could make that a topic, but he only gets 3 pieces of that pie. So then that's his way of saying, okay, well, now I have to introduce my new topic because our pie's full, and making sure it's even. Okay, so that would be the progressing through one, and then here's a homework activity that would go with that. And so you could send homework for that particular student. Now, there's also like practice sharing conversations, so taking turns sharing conversations, talking time activity. And so basic conversation skills. You can always go down, and here is like all of the for these lessons, here's all of the materials, so you can mix and match or pick or whatever. But if we go back, so the one thing I wanted to share, like, so basically Michelle told me the kid's age and the problem behavior, the one that you're trying to work on. So without me knowing the kid really at all, I was able to go in here, read through a couple goals, and now is there one in here that's probably better? Maybe, but this would have probably benefited him in some capacity, and you being his therapist would have probably picked a different one after you looked through this. Maybe it would have taken you 10 minutes to look through, read a couple of the goals, objectives, and then you would have had 2 weeks worth of activities once you picked the lessons you wanted. So you may have to sit down for 15 minutes on one kid, but when you do that and then you assign that to the child, if you think you see them for 20 minutes twice a week, that's going to be almost 2 weeks worth of 2 weeks worth of lesson planning in 15 minutes. And I mean, everything can be done on an iPad or on a computer. You don't have to print the stuff out, but you can. So does anybody else have another student or goal or anything? We have about 7 minutes that I could just show another quick one. No? Okay, well, I'll use my kid then. So my student does not like to be told that he's wrong. He's very rock-brained and rigid. And so we have been working on some keeping an open mind. So it goes through like what is an open, what is a closed mind. And so what I liked about this is I have to find this part. So the companion that goes with this goes through and kind of behavior maps a little bit. So name one of your closed-minded ideas. So think of things that you don't like to be changed or don't like to be taken away. Okay, what's a new way you were asked to try? So my kid did not want to say the TH sound because he thought that was rude because you were sticking out your tongue. And he could not separate that. And so the new way we were asking him to try is instead of saying, we want you to say, the first few times you might feel upset when you're opening your mind to new ideas. So then name or draw some calming strategies. My kid would not list any calming strategies. The next lesson in this unit goes over calming strategies. So if that was one question I had, I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do now? When do I teach them calming strategies? Well, that's the next lesson. And then drawing a picture of yourself, doing the new way, or some of our kids love to draw. Some of our kids really don't enjoy drawing, and I can totally get that because I don't enjoy drawing. So you can just describe it in words, it's fine. Then using positive self-talk. So explaining what that is and how we would do that, and it's going to be okay. I might feel upset now, but I'm listening to my teacher. And then the last one is make a plan. So, okay, the next time I go to speech, I'm going to be asked to stick my tongue out for the TH sound. I go to speech at 9 o'clock on Thursdays in the speech room. So that's when I'm going to practice my open mind. And so then making the plan. This was beneficial to my student. And then it goes into this EDS world, which I kind of, this is where I want to end with, because this is kind of, it's really cool for the kids. So it reviews your skills. So you get to click a person.
I said I'd ride with you to the tournament, but my mom said I had some other carpool or something, so I have to go with them. I feel bad. You don't have anyone to go with now.
Gives them a scenario. Now they have to choose how to respond. No problem, I'll see you there, fine. You could have told me sooner though. So you have to respond which one's best. So let's say they do this one. Fine, you could have told me sooner though. It's gonna say, ooh, not quite, try again.
Thanks. Let's hang out when we get there.
Now you have to say how he feels, okay? So based on how you reacted, how did you make your friend feel?
It's cool that you understand the situation.
So then it makes you go through the other responses, which would be the worst response. So this would have been the worst response.
Yeah, I mean, I said I feel bad.
Then you have to go through and go, okay, then how did that make them feel?
I told you as soon as I found out. Now I don't want to hang out at the tournament.
And you could have a discussion on, okay, now he missed out on playing with his friend.
Well, I wish it would have worked out. I'm not sure if you're trying to be sarcastic to make me feel bad.
Sarcasm is a whole nother issue. So then basically there's your thing. The other thing with that is it gives you a score at the end. So it keeps data for you. We don't have enough time to go through the whole thing, but it will keep the data for you. So you would have when he clicks each of those, if he clicks wrong, that would show up in there. Okay, so that's kind of an overview of how to navigate it and now how to use it. There's no, you don't have to use every lesson, obviously, like the lessons within the units. You can go in and save lessons for later, like save them to a student or save them to a class. You can save all the PDFs that you download. So if you just are pulling that out instead of going online and doing that, that's also an option. Any other questions or anything else you want to see? I'll be sent. So
Who downloaded that PDF? When you can download the PDF,
yep.
like of that, can you make changes on it then, like on the PDF once you've?
No, they're not they're not changeable. But if you
like a read-only PDF.
yeah.
Okay.
Basically like a picture. But you could download it onto an iPad and then you could cross out and write it if you wanted, if there's something specific you wanted to change. All right, so basically for now then, those of you who are currently on that, because I think Mel, you were one that I sent it to, but otherwise all the rest of you were here on Tuesday, correct? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording.